Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are digging into something called Gaia. It's a new framework that's trying to solve a really big problem in the world of AI-powered coding. How do you get all that incredible speed without, losing control? So, let's dive right in.
Let's be real. AI coding assistants are amazing. They can write, they can test, they can deploy applications way faster than we ever could before. But with all this speed, it begs the question, are we compromising on safety? Are we maybe moving a little too fast?
Well, that's exactly where Gaia comes into the picture. It's designed to act as your AI guardian, a kind of protective layer that lets developers use the full power of AI, but safely.
So what is Gaia, really? The name itself stands for General Agentic Integration Architecture, but what it does is act as a modular security and orchestration layer. It sits right between you, the developer, and your AI coding assistant. The best way to think of it is like a smart, automated gatekeeper for any command the AI wants to run. Now, to really get why a tool like Gaia is so important, we gotta look at the flip side of all this speed, the very real dangers of having AI development completely unchecked. The core issue is actually pretty simple. Modern AI tools can read files, write code, and execute commands with practically zero friction. And while that's what makes them so fast and powerful, it's also exactly where all the risk comes from. And look, we're not talking about small mistakes here. A command that the AI generates without enough context, it could end up modifying critical system files, messing with your cloud infrastructure, or even triggering destructive actions that are incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to undo.
Okay, so that's the scary part. How does Gaia actually solve this? Well, its whole strategy is to classify every single intended action before it gets a chance to become a real operation on your machine. Here's how it all works. The process is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. So before any command from the AI can run, Gaia intercepts it. It uses this deterministic hook called pre-tool use. Then, a routine running right there on your local machine analyzes that command, we're talking milliseconds here, and assigns it a security tier. And after it runs, or tries to, a second hook jumps in and records the result. This gives you a crystal clear, auditable history of what the agent tried to do and what actually happened.
And this next part, this is absolutely critical, especially if you're worried about privacy. The entire analysis happens on your own machine. That's it. None of your execution data, your code, your commands, none of it is ever sent to some external API. It all stays with you.
Okay, so I mentioned that Gaia classifies commands into security tiers. This is really the heart of how it works. It's core intelligence. So let's break down what these tiers of trust actually look like.
It's pretty straightforward. You've got tiers 0 to 2, which cover all the low-risk stuff, things like reading files, validating some code, or just simulating changes. These run with almost no friction, so most of the time, the security is totally invisible. But then you get to tier 3. This is for actions that actually change the system's state, like committing code or deploying a new workload. At this level, Gaia hits the brakes and requires your manual approval before it can go any further. And for the really dangerous stuff, anything irreversible or destructive, well, Gaia just applies a blocked policy by default. It denies the action to prevent any permanent damage. Simple as that.
But hold on, Gaia isn't just about playing defense today. The vision for this thing is actually much, much bigger. This whole security layer is really just the foundation for something way more ambitious. Let's take a quick look at the future of Gaia.
So you can think of it in two parts. GAIA Security is what we've been talking about. It's that essential first layer for the tools we have right now. But the broader vision, the big picture, that's called gaia-ops. Imagine a coordinated system of specialized agents, all with their own memory and structured approval flows, all working together for some seriously advanced and reliable automation.
So, what's the bottom line here? What should you really take away from all this? It all comes back to this one powerful idea. The goal is simple, but it's also profound. To keep all that incredible, game-changing speed that AI agents give us, but without ever losing control. And that really makes you think, how are we all going to manage this balance as our tools get even smarter?